Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. राम संकीर्तन की जय, कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। जय जय श्री जगन्नाथ बालदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। Studying Nectar of Instruction, we are in the series of verses that talks about things that are favorable to bhakti. So we talked about three types of devotee: Kanishta, Madhma, and Uttmadhikar. And then we talked that one should not see the obvious dosh. Drishtaya svabhava janiter vapushya dosher na prakritvam iha bhakti janasi pashyet. Gangabhasam cha khalu buddh faner panker fena panker brahma dravatvam apagachati niradharmai. One should not see the obvious gap, obvious defects, such as bodily defect, or if the devotee has taken birth, we call Shudra, Vaishya, Brahmin, or Kshatriya, right? Even if devotee has taken birth in the lower Varnasrama, and if one has taken the bhakti, he is worshipable. One should worship. One should not have the material vision, and one should not make the accidental mistakes of ignoring the exalted devotee. Devotee who are exalted in Krishna consciousness, we don't make the mistake of uh, ignoring one. We should not envy the exalted position. If somebody has an exalted position, we should respect and not be envious. No criticism, not at all, not acceptable. Unnecessarily advising or correcting is not not recommended. Unless and until one is authority, such as Diksha Guru, Siksha Guru, Patpadarsaka Guru, one should not try to unnecessarily correct. And very important thing, very important thing, which might be a little hard to digest. Devotees are beyond any disciplinary action. Rules and regulations. Vaisnava Kriya Mudra, Karya Mudra, Kriya Mudra, Bhujane Bhujaya. They're so exalted, they're how they are working and what driving them to work. Ordinary person cannot understand. So they are beyond any disciplinary action. And then Prabhupada has expanded on that a little bit. So we are now getting into the last verse of this section, which is awakening the dormant taste, a dormant stage in our Krishna consciousness. This is extremely powerful verse. I'm sure you would have heard in many classes. Sat Krishna Nam Charitadi Sita Piya Vidya Pitopatapta Pitopatapta Rasnasya Narochikanu Kintu Adarad Anudinam Kalau Saiva Justa Swadhikarmadi Bhavati Tadagadamulhantri. This is extremely important verse. Thousands time this verse has been cited. Prabhupada has quoted this verse in his purport many times. So, Shyat Krishna Nam Charitadi Sitapiya Vidya. Krishna's name, his holy name, Charitadi, his pastime, is
Keep going,
Sitapi.
keep going.
It's very, very
In
sweet.
Parku, this is Manchil Parku.
It's
Then the
extremely,
red light you turn right.
extremely sweet. So Krishna's pastime
Highway 38
and his
left,
holy name
35 W now.
is very sweet, like sugar candy.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Just give me 1 minute, please. But what happens is that it does not taste, and one cannot taste the sweetness of holy name or pastime of supreme personality of Godhead. Why? It says that pito patapta, pito patapta, pito upat uta apata. That's the word. So Sandevi said if you break it down. So when one's tongue is afflicted with jaundice, then one may not taste the sweetness. So what happens? What happens when one get jaundice? Their medication is one will ask taste the sugar thing, sweet thing, and then they will ask, can you tell how sweet is this sweetness? How sweet is this sweet? And they'll say, oh, it's not sweet at all. It's sour. It's bitter. Why? Because the tongue is afflicted by disease. So, by careful and taking the proper treatment regularly, the jaundice goes away. And when jaundice goes away, then one can start tasting the sweet item. One can relish the sweetness of sweet item. So this is very practical example. Very practically, this verse teaches us that a living entity has their ordinary dealings, ordinary understanding of things. So any subject that is in front of you or in front of anybody, there are two ways you can tackle it. One way is that you can look at the situation using your material perspective. And the second way is that you can look at using a spiritual perspective. So how we look at it depends where we are. If we are thinking, acting, behaving, our feeling and willing, everything is like an ordinary person. That's very simple. We are ordinary person. That's very simple. But if we are acting, thinking, feeling, willing as per the understanding of scripture, in our behavior, if we depict humility, in our behavior, we depict respect for others, in our behavior, if we be tolerant with the situation that is coming in our way, these are a spiritual quality. So, unless and until one is not fully engaged seriously and regularly, then one cannot start having the real taste with the name, form, quality, and pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Which means, Prabhupada said that everybody in the material world is a hospital. We all are diseased and we have to get the treatment. What is the treatment? Having the pure taste or developing the taste for the name, form, quality, and pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unless and until that taste doesn't develop, one should think that one's stage is still a diseased stage. Okay, so let's read the purport. What Prabhupada is talking about this verse in his purport. Prabhupada first talks about healthy condition. In healthy condition, everything tastes as it is. And the verse is cited, Jivare Sarupaya Nitya Krishna Das. Engaging in devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is one's healthy condition. So as long as one is trying to engage in devotional service, one is trying to restore their original condition, healthy condition. But the disease condition is forgetfulness of Krishna. Okay, and with that forgetfulness, living entity develop taste for things which are within this periphery, within the scope of this material realm, which also we call as Maya. So Asraya, Durasraya. Asraya means shelter, and Durasraya means bad shelter. So instead of taking the shelter of Krishna, living being take shelter of Maya. Maya means once which is not true. So the goal of life is to rectify one mistake and come back and take the shelter of bhakti. But then there are many leaders, there are many distractions in the society, and Prabhupada is citing towards all the politicians, philosophers, and scientists who are nothing but just the atheists, and they are always trying to prove through their research, through their philosophy, that there is no Krishna, there is no God. Just live as you like, do whatever is your need or as per your need, act as per your need. There is no rules and regulation. But one has to take the medicine and take the proper treatment to be cured. So then after that, Prabhupada starts talking about that proper cure, proper treatment start by taking the shelter of holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this chanting have three stages. In the very beginning, when one does not have taste at all, that is a very offensive stage of chanting where one is offending the holy name. So they will chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, but they will think about how I can cheat somebody, how I can do some harm to others. Their mind is not focused on a holy name of Krishna. But that is also appreciated because that is the beginning stage, and by continuously and regularly engaging in chanting the name of Krishna, slowly and slowly, taste develop. So Nam Abhas. Nam is holy name, and Abhas means a stage where one starts perceiving some taste before there is full sunrise. In the morning, if you look in east horizon, you would see that dark reddish, you know, big sun. It's not looking like a sun, but you would say that, oh, sounds like sun is coming now. It looks, very uh, bright and something like, sun shape. So Abhas, holy name has not started giving full taste, but one is releasing the chanting. No, let me go and chant, holy name. Although I don't have taste, I'm trying my best. I'll try my best. Some taste is coming. And then with that endeavor, with that trial. After some time, one starts chanting Shuddh Nam, pure uh, name of the Krishna. And in that stage, the holy name is none different than Krishna himself. Avinatva Nam Namino. The name of Krishna is none different than Krishna. So one release the chanting up to the fullest extent, and that is Sudhanam. So Prabhupada then talks about how one can come to that stage, and the 9 stages of bhakti is presented in the purport. So Sri Rupa Goswami has given this beautiful verse, which we are going to study in depth in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that talks about 9 stages of bhakti, which is Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan, Kriya, Nartanivati, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, and Prema. So, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan, Kriya, Anarthanivati. These are the 4 stages. Most of the devotees are. We have some Shraddha, which means Shraddha for holy name, Shraddha for devotee, Shraddha for scripture. And we associate with one of them. We chant name of Krishna, we associate with devotee, or we read. But our Shraddha is not purified yet. It's still, mixed. It's still mixed with our Shobhav, propensity, material propensity that we have, that is mixed up in our Shraddha. So if we are in the association of the devotee, Shraddha becomes very firm. But as soon as we get out, we start, acting in a very material way. So this is undiluted sinusoidal type of stage, ups and downs, ups and down, ups and downs. So if one is doing up and down in the bhakti, one should know that their Shraddha is not yet form. And with dilute Shraddha, one associate with sadhu, one engage in bhajan kriya, chanting the name of Krishna, 16 round, 10 round, 20 round, however many round you are chanting. And then still there are anartha. So talking gossip, talking bad about somebody, talking behind somebody, trying to put somebody down. This is all anartha. And uh, in that stage, living entity is trying to nivritti, come out of it. So we all have some anartha, but you would see that sometimes we'll feel very sad, very morose. Oh, why did I do it? Why did I do it? Parikshit Maharaj, he garlanded Samika Rishi with death snake, and he started regretting. Oh, why did I do it? Why did I do it? Why did I do this? Offense. So since there is not complete purification, the bad propensity made us do something wrong, and then good propensity that we have inside, that will make us regret. So everything until this is ups and downs. That is why at least one should come to the stage of nishtha. So in devotional service, we should try to minimum come to the stage of nishtha. So this lifetime, if you ask me what is my goal, if you can come to ruchi, asakti, bhava, and prema, that is excellent, perfect. But minimal, try to come to the stage of nishtha. And at the stage of nishthas, one conviction, one shraddha is very, very firm in devotional service. Okay, so this ups and downs is gone. One will become very stable. So entire world will go against of Krishna. Nobody is devotee, but the person who has nishtha, he would not go away. He would know that yes, my Lord is there, Krishna is there, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So one should come to the stage of nishtha, and higher than nishtha is ruchi, where one develop perfect taste for the devotional activities. perfect taste. So after Nishta Ruchi comes, at Ruchi, you will have perfect taste, which means this jaundice is completely, completely gone. The tongue is cured, and you have the real taste. Then with that real taste, Ashakti develops, which means very strong bonding, very strong relationship. One will feel that Krishna is present in one's life. The relationship becomes very strong, extremely strong with devotee and Supreme Lord. And then Bhava is the stage where bhakti has almost come to the pure stage, almost to the pinnacle. And then the final stage is prema. An example is given. Bhava is the budding stage. So if the lotus is, or if the rose is coming up, the budding stage is bhava stage. And when flower is completely open up opened up and all the petals are fully grown, the fragrance is coming out of it, it's in the full shape, then that's the prema stage. So at prema stage, bhakti is fully developed, and all of these qualities, nishta, ruchi, asakti, has fully matured and developed. So we'll talk about this stage, sadhana bhakti, and then raganuga bhakti, bhava bhakti, and prema bhakti. I think there will be a slide here. Yes. So in nectar of devotion, bhakti has these three categories. Okay. So sadhana bhakti is the bhakti where sadhaka is practicing. It's practicing stage. And bhava is the stage where one is almost complete to close to perfection. And prema is fully perfected stage. So in sadhana bhakti, there are two stages, Badhi bhakti and Raganuga bhakti. So in Badhi means vidhi, method. So Prabhupada give us the method. What the method Prabhupada has given? Follow four regularity principle, put the tilak at 12 places on your body, get up in the morning, chant the name of Krishna, engage in deity worship, read Srimad Bhagavatam, go to holy places, right? Worship Srimati Tulsi Maharani. All of that is vidhi. So you will hear, you know, devotee complaining, I'm the only one who is coming for Mangalarti. Nobody else gets up. Nobody else comes for Mangalarti. Why? Because in the Badhi Bhakti, where when one is trying to follow the Vidhi, there is ups and downs. Okay. Sometimes it's very hard to get up. I cannot get up. My body is not good. I have a bad health, this and that. What does it mean? Means that taste is there. One has that understanding of the taste, but that is still limited. I have this condition I cannot do. I have that condition I cannot do. I cannot come because I have, to do this. I have so it's a still under some terms and condition, if and buts that we say. But there is rule. The desire is to follow the rule and try to progress in the process of bhakti. But when one come to the stage of Raganuga Bhakti, then the taste for Bhakti is spontaneous. That is Nishtha stage, where one is completely, stable in the process of Bhakti. And doesn't matter, whatever, they'll get up every morning, they'll chant the name, you will ask them to chant 16 rounds, they'll chant to 32 rounds, they'll fast, always thinking about Krishna, always reading about Krishna, hearing about Krishna. Not a fraction of a second that person would like to spare in anything which is not Krishna conscious. Always person likes to engage in Krishna conscious activities. So Raganuga Bhakti has a stage, Nishtha is there, Ruchi is there, Asakti is there. And then finally one come to the stage of Bhava, where one is almost close to be fully perfected, and then finally prema stage comes. So we are Badhi Bhakta. we are sadhaka. When we say sadhaka, we are talking about Bhadi Bhakti. And in Bhadi Bhakti, one's attraction is not very strong. There is attraction, but not very strong attraction. And Bhadi Bhakti is followed by the rules and regulation that is presented in a scripture. Okay, so anybody knows what is that book where rules and regulations are presented for bhakti? Anybody? Can anybody guess what is that book for us that talks about rules and regulations for bhakti?
Narad Panchratri.
Okay, Narad Pancharatri. Okay, but the immediate one, what is the immediate book that we have to very thoroughly study and know and conduct our life as per the teaching presented in that book? What is that book? Anybody knows? Bhakti
Nectar of devotion.
Rasamrita Sindhu, Nectar of Devotion. Yes, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, normally I like going through it as the last module because you can spend as long as you want in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and very clearly, very carefully, very attentively, we should study each and every line of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Because Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu will tell you how you should cultivate bhakti. We are Rupanuga. Okay. So bhakti means our idol is Srila Prabhupada and our idol is Six Goswami. Okay. So we do things which Prabhupada did, we do things which Six Goswami has asked us to do. Anything else is unacceptable. Brahmada Gauriya Sampradaya means literally following the teaching of six Goswami, Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Gopal Bhatt Das Raghunath. Right now, we are studying the teaching of Rupa Goswami. Nectar of Instruction is written by Rupa Goswami based on the teaching provided by Mahaprabhu. And then after that, we'll study Nectar of Devotion. That's another compilation by Rupa Goswami. So these books are law. It tells what exactly one should do. So right now the verse that we are studying, this verse is saying that living entity in the material condition or in disease stage. And as long as they are in disease stage, they are like in jaundice. Their tongue cannot taste the sweetness of holy name and pastime. But we have to come out of this jaundice by regularly, sincerely chanting and practicing the Bhadi Bhakti, Vidhi Bhakti. Okay, so Vidhi Bhakti, the Vidhi that is given, if one is not following the Vidhi and one is pretending to be advanced devotee, it's not correct. So Bhadi Bhakti means Sadhu Sangha is very important. Even I'm falling short, I'm not qualified to associate, but I still go and just stick from the backside and take the shelter of devotee, appreciating devotee, being in the association of devotee, reading Shastra, Bhagavatam discussions in the association of devotee, hearing from them, sharing with them. This is all vidhi, methods. So all of these are prescribed method. For example, if one gets disease, doctor will write prescription. Take this tablet twice a day, this one once a day, do this, don't eat that, right? And then if we follow the prescription, very soon we become cured. So that's what Bhadi Bhakti is. So in Bhadi Bhakti, very, very important to follow Vidhi. Prabhupada said, get up in the morning, chant 16 rounds in the early morning. I can tell you that sometimes it happens with me due to health condition. I don't get up in the morning. If I'm not getting up in the morning, my chanting, once days start and things are moving, I have some responsibility, devotees are asking me some things, all of that chanting becomes horribly bad, horribly bad. So I just give a pause and then I try to see how can I adjust my schedule. At least 1.5 or 2 hours I need to chant name of Krishna nicely. So But my topmost priority is that it doesn't matter bad health or good health, whatever it is. First get up in the morning and chant my round. Very nicely, quietly, 16 round is done. After that, I can touch the phone or anything else like that. You know, Sadhujanand Prabhu, I heard that he doesn't eat until his 16 round is completed. It's not something for show off. By doing that, he will very quickly rectify his errors and mistakes and elevate himself to higher consciousness. It's not show off. Don't think that if somebody is following the rules and regulation, that person is showing off. The person who will follow rules and regulation, that person will advance. Okay, so all of us have some responsibility also to advance ourselves and be cognizant to see others' advancement. Otherwise, your vision will be material vision. You will see somebody on material scale, but that's not how one should see. One should put respect based on the spiritual advancement. But how you would know? How you would know that Prabhupada was how advanced? How you would know? How you would know? Tell me. How you would know that some XYZ devotee is very advanced? When you have the marker, when you are using the right marker, when you yourself know what is the standard of the bhakti, what is really called bhakti and what is not called bhakti. So this Bhakti Shastri course is designed to teach us. The course, the verse, that purport that we are reading is not only to get the certificate, but this is very preliminary course, at least to set the foundation so that we can do the pure bhakti. Okay, so that's how the verse number 7 finishes. It basically teaches us that how we can awaken our dormant stage in Krishna consciousness. Then next four set of verses are going to talk. Now we know what are the things we have to avoid. We know what are the things we have to do. So knowing what we have to not do, knowing what we have to do, now we have to apply it, right? We have to practice it. So the next set of verses from 8, 9, 10 and 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, these four verses are going to talk how to perform bhakti, where stay and what to do to quickly elevate in the process of bhakti. So before I read verse number 8, I would like to give a minute to see if there is any reflection, any questions. Any realization, anything before I move to next verse? We're good? Okay, so this verse is going to be essence of all the advice, right? So many advices we have been giving. We studied from verse number 1 to verse number 7. And this verse is saying, okay, we have given you all the advice. Rupa Goswami is saying what to do, what not to do. Now I am going to give you the essence of all the advices that I have given you. Rupa Goswami is saying. So what is that essence? Tananam Rupa Charitadi Sukritananu Sukritananu Asmartayo Kramena Rasana Manasi Niyojya Tishthan Braje Tad Anuragi Jananugami Kalam Nayed Akhilam Iti Upadesh Saram. See? Upadesh Saram. So Iti Upadesh Saram. This is essence of all the Upadesa, all the instructions, all the advice that has been given. What is the essence? Tananam Rupa Charitadi. One should discuss about Naam, holy name, Roop, form, Charitadi, pastime, Charitadi, pastime, etc. Character, etc. Character, etc. etc. So we call it Naam, Roop, Gun, and Leela. These four things, right? So a devotee should always be engaged in doing one of these things. And then asmartayo kramena rashana manasi niyojya. Rasna manasi. You know what is rasna? Rasna is sometimes referred to tongues. So one should try to do these things. Remember Krishna, his name, form, quality, and pastime. Very important. By gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. Rasana manasi. See, tongue and mind comes. So tongue like to enjoy different food stuff. Let's go to that place, let's go to this place, Indian restaurant, Chinese restaurant, Mexican restaurant, Thai restaurant, Japanese restaurant, this and that. Food is being cooked whichever way they want to cook. There is no proper protocol followed. It's not offered to Krishna. It's just karmic food. So if one wants to remember name, form, quality, and pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead, then one should first control the tongue, eat Krishna Prasadam, and then Manasi, mind. Mind will take us through so many ups and downs, roller coaster, they say, right? But having control over mind, sometimes, mind will say, who he is, why he can tell me like that? I'm not less than him, and I have seen that. When when the vision is material, when somebody will give you the advice, you would say, why this person is giving advice? Who he is? I'm more educated, I'm better than him. I don't want to obey your advice. It's material thinking, extremely material thinking, 100% material thinking. If that pulse is coming, I'm the best, why I have to listen to somebody else? Gopi Bharto Padakamla or Das Das Dasa. Bhakti doesn't teach that I am the best. Bhakti is teaching I am the best, then right car, but maybe wrong drive. It's taking us back. Bhakti teaches that I am servants of the servants of the servants of the servant. I am most fallen. And Uttama does not see fault in anybody else. He sees everybody else is devotee. Everybody else is trying their best to serve Krishna. So mind will take us in so many directions. But one should learn to control the mind. So control the mind and control the tongue. And then what else to do? Tisthan. Braje tad anuragi. Try to live in Braja, which means Prabhupada has given the translation that Braja is 84 course, 84 kilometer, kosa is mile I believe, around the center of Vrindavan. So one should try to stay anywhere within that 84 miles. Now there is literal meaning of that Brajvas and there is practical meaning of that Brajvas. So for us, Brajvas is basically a place where Krishna resides. So everybody at their house, they have altar. And on the altar, there is Radha, Krishna, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, God Nitai, and then there are pure devotees such as Six Goswamis, in our disciplic succession, Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj. So literally we are living in Braja. We are living in Vaikuntha. So Tishthan Braje. Okay, living in Braja, and very important point. Anuragi Jana Anugami. Wow, very extremely important point. I don't know how much I can emphasize that point. Always, always, always follow the devotee who are attached to Krishna's bhakti. So this is essence of advices which are given here, and I'm going to ask you once I'm done with that, what are the things that is being given here? And one of you will have to unmute yourself and just tell one thing and let other person tell the another thing. So very important to follow the devotee who are attached to Krishna's bhakti. Kalam nayedakhilam, and one should this way utilize one's full time in bhakti. Iti upadesasaram. This is the essence of all the advice. Okay. So in each line, there are few items mentioned here. And these are essence of all the advices. So I would like one of you to start saying from the top line. What is the first line talking about? What are the things that one should do?
Sorry, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So the first line says, discuss Krishna's name, forms, pastime, Gun, Rup, Leela, and
Gun
Naam.
Roop. Yeah. Naam Roop Gun Lila. Okay. But is it easy to do or is it difficult to do?
It is difficult to do
Yes, it's
because
difficult
most
to
of the
do.
time we are engaged in our own.
Yes. So it's difficult to do.
Yes.
Then there is steps given that one should follow to do Satate Smartavaya Vishnu Vishmartavaya Jadashut. Bhakti means always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Hearing, Saranam, Kirtanam, Mananam, Nididhyasnam, then Asmarnam. So there is a steps given at different places. Same statement has been presented in different way. So here the Asmarnam is presented in the form of name, form, quality, and pastime. One should always discuss and remember Naam, Roop, Gun, and Lila. But it's difficult. So somebody else can tell what is the process given in the second verse, second line. Who will tell what is the process given in second line to do the first thing? The items that's mentioned in first line. Please come on.
Yes.
Say quickly.
One has to control the tongue and mind.
Yes. Very important. Very important that one should control the tongue and mind. Okay, somebody else. What is the third line?
Association of devotees.
Association with whom?
Devotees.
Yeah, the person who is very attached to bhakti. So this is talking about very advanced devotee. Devotee is for sure as such, but advanced bhakta, you know, great devotee we call it. Devotee who have more realization about Krishna. So association is there. What else? There is one more item. There is one more item.
Visiting the holy places, like
Ah,
visiting the holy places. This time,
yes, residing.
Residing in the holy
visiting, yes, residing, visiting the holy places. And then what is in the fourth line, last line?
One should utilize one's full time in this way.
Yeah, so one should utilize their time in this way. If we are doing this way, then soon we'll have complete realization of name, form, quality, and pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this verse has so many important points that is being mentioned here. It's 6:18. I'll try to see if I can cover this verse today. So Prabhupada starts talking about mind. Why mind has to be controlled? Well, mind has impression of many lives, life after life, punarapi janmam, punarapi marnam. Life after life, we have been to many births, 8.4 million species of life. And cause of transmigration in third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned. Kapil Dev is talking to Mother Devahuti and he tells that how living entity are transmigrating. And then in that context, he says that there are gross existence and there are subtle existence. So our existence has two components, gross and subtle. Have you all heard about this? That our existence has two components, gross and subtle?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what is gross? Gross existence is our body. Chitijala Bhavak Gagana Sarira Samira Panchtattva Nirmit Adham Sharira. This material body is made of five elements, gross elements. And then there are subtle. What is subtle component? Anybody knows? Can somebody unmute and say what are the subtle component of our existence? Manohar Prabhu, what is subtle component of our existence?
Mind intelligence and false ego.
Mind, intelligence, and false ego. Right. So mind, intelligence, and false ego. So false ego controls the intelligence. Okay. I am man. Hence I should do this. Then intelligence controls the mind. Okay. So mind has to be purified. And if mind is not purified, then our desire is saved in our mind as subtle element. And at the time of leaving the body, all the desires that living entity has is deposited in mind as subtle component. And when we leave the body, that subtle desire that we have, Krishna again next life manifests it and gives the proper environment, proper surrounding to manifest that desire. So sometimes women form, sometimes men form, sometimes tiger, sometimes lion. Why? Because of desire that we have. So if the living entity will desire to become pure devotee, the next life they'll get the chance to become pure devotee. If the living entity will desire to go back to home, back to Krishna, and if one will act accordingly, yamam vapi asmaranam, Krishna says that yam yam vapi, at the time of leaving the body, whatever one remember without fail, they get that in next life. So purification of mind is extremely important. And then the process is given that how the purification of mind will happen? One has to train oneself. Training is very, very important. Living in association. Residence literally not meaning that you just go and live in Brindavan and do whatever you want to do. Residence here refers to two important things. The first thing is association, and second thing is hearing from. So sadhu sang, just by associating with sadhu itself is very uh, beneficiary, very beneficial. And the second thing is by hearing. So if we hear from a bona fide devotee, double benefit. We are getting their association and we are hearing from them. So if we do that, residence means we need to do those things. And as long as we do those things and we follow their advice, then slowly and slowly and slowly our gross and subtle existence will purify, and then one will go back to home, back to Krishna. So this part will emphasize and study more in depth when we come to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So BRS is Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So that's what it is. Okay. Prabhupada very nicely writes purport. Impressions. Why? Because of the mind contamination. And that is cause of transmigration. But it has to be purified by training, by reciting, which means taking association and hearing from pure devotee, and then following their guidance. By doing that, one starts purifying. So what are the process? How the purification of mind takes place? That is being mentioned here. So first thing is one has to be das. Here does not mean servant, but das means one need to have the inquisitiveness. One need to be very inquisitive for sarvana, hearing. Okay, in your fight stage, one hearing is very weak. Oh, Prabhu, can you cut the lecture? The lecture is too long. We just want to have some drama and then want to have prasadam. Lecture is boring. You'll hear that. You know why? Why there is boring? Why lecture is boring? Taste is not there. We saw verse number 7. Taste is not there. But if we have taste, then hearing will be very important. He will release the hearing. So Sravan Das means the one who has taste for hearing. And by having taste for hearing, Varna is basically form. Krishna has a Tribhanga form, right? So if we constantly hear about it, then the desire to see the form. Rukmini heard about Krishna, and just by hearing, she fall into love. So Varna, she could basically, envision how Krishna is, oh, such a good quality, he might be like it. So by hearing, when we hear name, form, quality, and pastime, right, there is imagination. When Krishna is killing, uh, Kesi demon or Aghasur or Bakasur, there is some imagination going on in your mind. You imagine, oh, Krishna is doing like that. Depending on how much we have purified, up to that extent, your mind has some degree of imagination. Okay. So here it says that attaching to hearing Krishna Katha and perform kirtan, which means attaching to the form. Okay. And with that attachment, there is asmarnam, remembrance of Krishna. that comes. And with that remembrance, apana means self. Okay, the self realizations start happening. So by remembering Krishna, by hearing his pastime, by conceiving the name, form, quality, and pastime of Supreme Personality of Godhead, self realization happens, self purification happens. Why am I acting like this? I should not act like that. I should serve as a devotee. I should serve. Why I am trying to prove that I am right? Let others be right. You know, this apana, this purification, self purification, self purification starts happening. This is another way to present the steps of bhakti. And when self purification happens, which means tamso majotirgamya, when one realizes one's identity, Jiva Swarupa Krishna Das, then one starts Shampati means possession. One starts developing the possession, my Lord, my dear Lord. You will see people will say, my dear Lord, please save me. The relationship, the adhikar. I don't, I mean, Krishna will help me. All those cowherd boys, they happily entered into the mouth of Agasur. We don't have to worry. Krishna is there. That's his responsibility. He will take care. Let's do whatever. that sampati, that adhikar, you know, possession. Mirabai has possession. Mere to girdhar gopal dusro na koi. What does it mean? Possession. And that possession come to the stage where one starts worshipping Krishna as their conjugal lover. Mirabai worship Krishna like her husband. All the gopis are worshipping, having adhikar, shantras, dasaras, vatsalyaras, madhuryaras, all these rasas. What are these Rasa, conjugal dealing, adhikar. I am friends of, dasras, I am servants of Krishna. There is, I'm servants of Krishna. At vatsalyaras, oh, Krishna is my son and daughter, right? As a madhurya ras, oh, Krishna is my object of love, right? So this sampati, this imposition of adhikar develop, the real imposition of adhikar develop. So that's another way to see how purification happens. Okay, that's why it says that in process of bhakti, self-realization automatically comes. One does not have to endeavor separately for the self-realization. Self-realization comes automatically in the process of bhakti. When we try to know Krishna, in that endeavor, we know who we are. An example is given that if you are in a dark room, you cannot see who you are. But when light is turned on, then light make us see who we are. So bhakti is like that. Once we are connected with Krishna, once we are trying to connect with Krishna, then Jiva, the living entity, also knows who he or she is. What is, his or her role as a Jiva in service of Krishna, right? So that relationship, understanding of that relationship comes when we engage in process of bhakti, not by separate endeavor. They say that neti neti, or by analytical methods. One cannot come to understand that how one is related to Krishna. Okay, so then there are some other important element in this verse, which I'll just talk a little bit next class, and then go to verse number 9. But I would like to pause here and see if there is any realization, any questions, anything anybody would like to share. Just wanted to tell you that yesterday I was out for Harinam in Carbondale. It is very important service. I had thousands and thousands of people, especially local people on the street, both sides. We have never had any opportunity where we are chanting name of Krishna, playing Mirdanga Kartal, and we have people both side, local American people watching us. So there was no way that I could miss that opportunity, letting them hear the holy name. And when they are shaking, when they are dancing, my dear devotees, that's all. Their account is open. Now let Krishna handle from there. So I went there and I was part of the holy name Harinam. So many people were on the street watching us. So I requested Bimla Mataji if we can find another slot to have this class. I also missed last week class as well. So I would like to take maybe one more day next week. We can maybe do 2 classes uh, on Saturday, and which is our standard time, 11 o'clock, and then maybe we can do the same, same time Sunday. So 2 classes. That way we can kind of, uh, catch up with what we have left. So very beautiful. I would like to request you that please read purport. I just gave you the essential summary that is presented in this chapter. Most likely next week I can finish nectar of instruction. So if you have not done your homework, I'm requesting you please start working on your homework. Finish the homework and then we can be ready for exam very soon, module 4. And then we'll start right after this Ishopanishad. Ishopanishad is kind of little or uh, Bhakti Samrita Sindhu, whatever you prefer. Normally, I like doing Bhakti Samrita Sindhu, I think, before I do Ishopanishad because Ishopanishad is a little confusing. That some of the words that is being used there, it sounds like that is talking about impersonal feature of Supreme Lord. So I like devotee to be a little bit more matured to digest the teaching that is presented in Ishopanishad. So after completion of nectar of instruction, most likely, and it will make more sense to study Bhakti Samrita Sindhu. Okay, so most likely next week we are done with nectar of instruction. So I would like to request you, please go ahead and start reading the purport by Srila Prabhupada. You should read. The intent of this course is to read Prabhupada's purport. And the slides that I'm sharing with you is basically following the flow that Prabhupada has written his purport. I'm just taking the key points from the purport and presenting to explain the words. Okay, but if you read it carefully, for sure you'll have your own understanding and deeper understanding of what this purport is talking about. So with that, I would like to give a pause and let you ask if you have any questions, anything that you would like to ask. Okay. Manor Prabhu, anything you have?
Um, Very nice class, Prabhuji. I mean, I felt you were in a very strong, grave mood today.
Oh,
So, a lot of nice instructions on how to improve our devotional service. So, and the slides were also nice. Prabhu. A couple of the slides, I think we were wondering. I think you'll explain it later, especially the different type of das.
yeah.
Seva that
Servitude. Yeah.
servitude that I had never seen like that classification. So maybe you'll be explaining that next time.
Yeah, it comes, I think, little bit in Bhakti Samrita Sindhu also.
Okay.
But if you read the purport, then Prabhupada has given more clarification on what are different types of dasa.
Mhm.
Sarvan Das, Varna Das, Smaran Das, Apana Das, and Sampati Das.
Mhm.
So I just gave the meaning of those terms.
So, Prabhuji, one question I had or clarification. We were thinking the 9 stages of bhakti which you have, starting from Adav Shraddha Tatha,
Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivriti.
Anat Nirvati, Nishtha, sorry.
Yeah,
When we
Nishtha Ruchi.
Nishtha.
Asakti.
So is Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, and Prem, right?
Yeah.
So is Nishtha a kind of a lockdown stage where we cannot go down? or it's possible?
No, you can come down from Bharat. Bharat Maharaj came down from Bhava stage.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Vishnu.
Hari bol.
Yeah.
Huh?
He was at the Bhavas.
He was in
Yeah.
Bhava stage and came down.
Yeah.
Oh,
So unless and until we are not in the prema stage, in complete prema, you can still come down. You can still fall down. Still, some elements of Maya can capture us. And perfect example is Bhava, Bharat Maharaj. But since Bharat Maharaj was in the Bhava stage, although he fell down because of his affection to the deer, deer baby of the deer, next life he took birth as a baby, but still he remembered his spiritual advancement.
right.
And then he took birth as Jar Bharat. So when he took birth as Jar Bharat, his spiritual advancement, Krishna says in 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So his spiritual advancement, Sulpamapi Dharmasya Trayato Mahato Bhayat Nyavikarvanaso Asti Pratyayo Na Vidyate. His advancement was not gone. So when he came as Jar Bharat, he said, no. I made a mistake of interacting with something. So this life, I'm going to act as a Jara. No, that I have no, Jara means no consciousness, non-conscious, I'm going to be acting like as a non-conscious. But when Maharaj Rohagana came, he started teaching. He said, oh, you were just acting like a Jara and you seem so exalted. So the point that I'm trying to make is that can somebody fall from higher stage? Yes, from Bhava. Up to Bhava, there is a chance that you can fall down, and it's present. We'll study about that in Kriyasamrita Sindhu. But stability of the bhakti comes from Nistha. So I always request, I myself, try to pray my deity Radha Sundar that my dear Lord, just let me, have a stable love for you. It's ups and down too much, this thing, that thing, this, Maya has, so much, so many dimensions, and she can captivate us on the name of this, on the name of that, on the name of, this, name, fame, glories, puja, pratishta. At the end of the day, we are sadhaka, nothing else. So always remember, I am sadhaka. This all that is given to me is coming by Sri Prabhupada. If he wants to take it, my dear Lord, Tubhyam Divyavastu Tubhya Samarpaya. You have given me something, take it if you want to take it. If you are giving me, I'll just handle as an instrument. You know, Sabyasachi, Krishna says that Nimit Matra Bhava Arjuna. Oh Arjun, you just be instrument. So we are just an instrument. If we take, that's why the teaching of Brahmada Gauriya Sampradaya, Gopi Bharta Upad Kamala, Das Anudasa is extremely powerful. I'm not the husband, I'm not the wife, I'm not the king, I'm not the queen, I'm not the, this, I'm not that. All I am is Gopi Bharta Upad Kamala, Das Anudasa. I'm servants of the servants of the servants of the servants of the devotee of spirit personality of Godhead. That's what's very important, to tune our mind to be servant. Let people laugh on your servitude. Oh, this man, he's just, all he does is that listens. Very important quality to have.
Mm.
False ego subsides. Let's false ego, let's who I am, I think, let's that die. My intelligence, I'm so smart, I'm this, I'm that, let's that die. My dear Lord, I will just let all of that die. All I want to be known is that if somebody can say that I have little bit love for you, that love will save me. That love. So that is the key. We can fall down from any stage. If Krishna wants us to fall down, we'll fall down. But then, Krishna has also assured that Arjuna prati janahi name bhakta parnasati. Declared it boldly, my devotee never perishes. So one who has taken the shelter of bhakti will never perish. But can one fall down from the higher stage? Yes. From bhava, there is chance to fall down. But the real releasement of the bhakti starts happening when we are in the Nishtha stage. In the Shraddha Sadhu Sangha Bhajan Kriya Anartha Nivritti is sinusoidal. Sometimes sometimes not to I should not say, but sometimes you will see the tears will start coming from your eye. If somebody like Prabhupada's, if you hear Prabhupada chanting Hare Krishna, sometimes if you just hear that and pay attention to the depth of devotion that Prabhupada is depicting when he's chanting, suddenly tears will start coming from your eyes. That is very, very higher stage. Astabikar, hair standing, tears coming, you know, uh, your throat choking. These are the higher symptoms, very exalted, advanced stages of bhakti. But in these four stages, it may happen. Suddenly, sometimes, your bhakti will become very, Krishna gives us the taste. See how the pure, bhakti looks like. And then very soon, again, this thing will go. Again, you will come to the material world. Your wife will see what you are doing, why you are crying, something, and then so this is like that. It will come and go, come and go. But from Nistha stage, it starts becoming very stable. And then the firmness starts growing more and more. But up to Bhava stage, it's still dilute. Still there is chance that something will captivate.
Mm. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, that was very nice. We should not become overconfident at any stage.
No, Bhakti never become overconfident. No. So do you remember, somebody came to Prabhupada and asked, Prabhupada, can you fall down? Prabhupada said that that's the difference between you and I, that I would never fall, but you can fall down. Then one day, Prabhupada was in front of the deity and praying, my dear Lord, please save me, my dear. So then that Bhakta, disciple of Prabhupada, came and asked, Prabhupada, what you were praying like this? You were very sincerely praying. Prabhupada said that I was praying to my Lord, that my dear Lord, never let Maya capture me. Please save me. Prabhupada just said a few days back that you would never be captivated by Maya. So why you are praying? Prabhupada said, I am praying. That is why I'll be saved. So that's recently I also came to this realization that my dear Lord, so far I have not done your bhakti, but let me do your bhakti now. I have wasted my 20-22 years in Krishna consciousness. I haven't done your bhakti. Let me do your bhakti. And I'm not the doer. Praying, my dear Lord, how can I change? How can I make something? How I can make living entity pure devotee? Because people are very, very, rusty, very rusty. If you look around, you will see they're very, they have a lot of, they're holding things, but you and I cannot change it, my dear Lord. How they can be changed? How they can become pure devotee? So praying for our welfare and praying for others. When we pray for others, it's granted that we will be saved. So that's how it is. We have to be very intense in our bhakti. Very intensely, our heart should be. Here you go, my dear Lord. This life, nothing else. I just want to do your bhakti. I have done so much nonsense. This life, I want to do your bhakti, and praying all the time, my dear Lord. Please save me. Never be overconfident. I made it. I'm very advanced devotee. People are saying this. People are saying no, my dear Lord. I'm nothing. Save me, protect me, help me, guide me. Let your devotee, you know, come and help me. So pray. Because we are not in Bhava stage, but we can even fall down from the Bhava stage. I personally think that I am still struggling with one of these things. I'm still in the very beginning stage of bhakti, but there is risk. Even if you go to higher stage, you can fall down. So praying will protect us. But very good that you asked this so that I can a little bit talk about some of this important thing.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hari Bol. Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna. Dandavad. Anybody has anything? It's 7:47.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
So the how to purify mind, it's a smarana dasa that you said. So what is dasa means? I know you explained it, but is it
Servitude. Das here literally means servitude. So Smaran Dasa means servants of hearing, means hearing very submissively, right? And I said that here Dasa literally means having a strong taste. Same thing, having a strong taste for hearing. So this is another way to present what Manohar Prabhu was saying. That Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajan Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. This is the same ladder, but presented in a different format. Sravan Das, Varan Das, Aswaran Das, Apna Das, and Sampati Das. Okay, Mataji. So Das here means doing that submissively. So Sravan Das means hearing very submissively. Varna Das means conceiving the name, form, quality, form of Krishna. Varna means form of Krishna very submissively. Asmarna means very submissively remembering the Krishna's form. Always remember Krishna. And with that, one come to the stage of one's spiritual identity. Once a spiritual identity is revealed. And then finally, there is a stage of perfection, which is pure devotion. And in that stage, one has some degree of possession in that relationship. Each someone has possession, right? So let's take the example of mother has possession on the baby. The more love, what is love? How the love is indicated? The love is indicated with some possession, right? Mataji, take the example of Kalautri Radhika Mataji. She has possession over Rukmini. Hey Rukmini, you have to do this. Come here. How you do that? Under possession. Husband and wife have very good relationship, and that relationship has some possession. You cannot do that. Come here. You see, there is some aspect of possession. So in bhakti also, when we mature, there is some degree of possession, some adhikar, and that adhikar is not to rule, just love, that love. And the next set of slide that we'll see will expand a little deeper on that, which will talk about 5 types of rasas, conjugal exchange that we have in bhakti. Okay, Mataji.
Thank you.
Is something else that you wanted to ask, or still
No, I
not?
was confused with dasa or the dasa, like in a condition, dasa, and dasha. I mean,
Yeah, dasa also means a stage.
yeah, like what do you say?
Yeah, so you can say that way also. Sarvan dasa, if you read that way, means that stage where one has taste for hearing.
Mhm.
Once that stage, dasa, yeah, condition. That's the stage where one has taste for conceiving the form of Supreme Personality of God. You can say it that way also. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Can we conclude here now? It's 7:51. So we'll meet next Saturday at our standard time, and then we'll discuss following class. Okay? वंशकल्पातरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Simmal Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Oh, I see Sadhujanand Prabhu and Manohar Prabhu is in the same frame. They're like
Yes,
brothers, always together. Eh?
Hare Krishna.
Nice.
They are
Thank you
having a
so
wonderful
much.
brother here with nice Prabhuji.
Start doing the homework and preparing for the 4th module. We are getting done with Bhakti Shastri very soon.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.